Hey folks, Jesus is coming soon. Now I want to tell y'all a few things. Hopefully it'll clear some stuff up. And when I first got this calling to do this, to make these videos, I was confused as to why me. I didn't argue with it. Of course, I pulled up my big boy pants and did it. But I was truly confused. I'm just an old country boy from Louisiana. I can't speak right. And I was like, Lord, nobody's going to listen to me. Who's going to listen to a country boy? You know, a lot of people look down on us country boys. They do. They think we're trashy and this and that and this and that. But, you know, I'm not trash. You know, my parents worked their butts off making sure that I didn't grow up, and my brothers didn't grow up white trash. They did. And I'll give it that. Even though I was bad growing up, did things I shouldn't have done, I think we all have. I view myself as the worst of all. And like how Paul talked about, that he was the chief sinner. I feel that way about myself. And it goes back to me not being able to speak right. So I only speak things how I'm feeling it, or, you know, that. And it confuses some people because they think that I'm talking about something bothering me, and nothing bothers me, y'all. But what people say about me or to me, it doesn't bother me whatsoever. It really doesn't. I'm used to it, you know. So when I talk about those things, I'm not talking about it because it's bothering me. I'm talking about it to help somebody else, because a lot of people it does bother when they go through stuff like that. And I guess I'm trying to set an example of how it shouldn't bother anybody. And I want to talk about this before this video gets too long. The whole church building thing that I was talking about a few videos ago. The last church building I tried was in 2019. And I went on this men's retreat in October of 2019. So this was before I had that sinus surgery, which turned my lights out for a little bit. So that was another add-on to my testimony I didn't get to share, of course, because it was before. Well, I went on this men's retreat, and it was probably between 30 and 35 guys there. And when night rolled around, I had a little fire going, and they had a bunch of chairs in a circle, and they put one chair in the center, and people would get up and go sit in that chair and tell their testimony. Well, they went in order, and I was the second one. So the first guy was talking about how he had, no, it was the fifth. I'm sorry, fifth one. First guy was talking about how he had a porn addiction, and everybody got up and put their hands on him and prayed for him, and there was a lot of tears shed. And second guy gets up here, pretty much says the same thing. The third guy gets up there saying how he was also a porn addict, and God changed him, and all this and that. But needless to say, the four guys before me got up there, and everybody got up, put their hands on and prayed for him, did this and did that. Well, it was my turn. I get up there, and I spilt my guts. I told my full testimony, and I was crying my eyes out. Not one man got up and put their hands on and prayed for him. Not one. Not one. Not even the guy that I went there with, which at one time he was my dad's best friend. So technically I've known him my whole life. Not even he got up and prayed for me. That's what I wanted. That's what I needed. That hurt me. That hurt me really, really, really bad. Y'all have no idea how bad that hurt me. I was snubbed. And everybody looked at the ground, literally, after I got done telling all that. I told about my hell experience, everything. My son dying, me finding my son in his bassinet, no longer alive. I told it all. And it hurt. I remember saying after that, after, let's see, that was 1, 2. The second guy after me, I stood up. I was mad because they all got hands on, prayed for, except for me. And I stood up and I said, you know, I don't have leprosy. Nobody said nothing. I looked at the guy that brought me there and I said, I'm ready to go. And he said, well, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I says, I don't care. I'm ready to, I want to leave. I'll call my wife to come get me. I was all the way in Texas. And I did. I called my wife and I said, hey, I want you to come get me. And she said, why? And I explained to her why. And she said, yeah, that would hurt my feelings too. And I said, no, it didn't just hurt my feelings. It hurt me down to my core. You know, it's different when something hurts your feelings. Didn't need to call no ambulance or nothing like that, but it did hurt me. And she was getting ready to leave. And that guy finally said, all right, I'll take you home. And I said, okay, thank you. And that whole ride home, he was trying to explain away why nobody got up and prayed for me, why I was treated the way I was treated after that. And he was like, you know, could you imagine how Job felt when people heard about his stuff and they just snobbed him? And I said, you know, I'm not Job. Job went through more than me. It's just the fact that hurt. I think my story was a lot bigger than a porn addiction, and yet nobody got up to pray for me. And he tried to come up with a lot of excuses, but it didn't work out. Needless to say, that was on a Friday night. I went into that church building that Sunday, and nobody spoke to me. So I knew something was up. So I asked the preacher, which was there that night, I said, why does everybody treat me like this? And he kind of was treating me like that too. I was like, well, why is everybody treating me this way? And he says, I don't know. What way? And I was like, you know what? I know when I'm not welcome. So I told my wife, I said, let's go get the kids and we'll just leave. Middle of church service. And that's what we did. We left. I went a few times after that, every other Sunday. I no longer went on Wednesdays, Bible studies. I no longer went to none of that stuff. And this is how I was treated in every single building that I went into. It wasn't just this one, but this one hurt me worse because I was actually a member there. And this is how I was treated. So that December I had that sinus surgery, which turned my lights off. Like I said, I bled out and all that stuff. Not one person from that building, they knew where I was. They knew I was having surgery. Not one showed up, nothing. I watched that service on Facebook Live as I was laying in the hospital bed. And that preacher didn't even ask people to pray for me. No, he asked them to pray for somebody else that stubbed their toe that morning. Dead serious. Didn't ask to pray for me. Again, I knew when I wasn't welcome. And I'd never been welcome in one of those buildings. I know people say, well, mine's not like, yes, they are. Okay, I've been there. I know every time someone's told me mine's not like that and I've tried it, it's been exactly like that. Apostate. Exactly like that. And it does nothing but hurt me. You know, when I see fellow believers treat me like that, you shouldn't treat another believer that way, you know. But this is what they do. It no longer affects me. I forgive all of them. Of course, I don't ever want to go back. But I do. I really, truly do forgive every single one of them. And it's not just me that's experienced this kind of treatment. It's a lot of other people. And a lot of these people inside these buildings can't see that because they've developed all this gossip and hate and all this for people that's not in their little cliques. So I got it in my mind that these church buildings are for rich people and jerks, because that's what I've experienced. Anyways, folks, sorry I had to listen to it for so long, but that's my story on it. And keep looking up, folks. Not much longer. Jesus is coming so very soon. Romans 10:9-13. I love all of you. I truly do. God bless.